Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Dwi Prantara. It is an honor to be presenter in International Conference on Social Sciences, Business, Education and Engineering 2022. I'm Dwi Prantara as a first author from Faculty of Engineering, Universitas Negeri Jakarta in Indonesia. This paper title is Relationship of Self-Efficacy with Technical Skill of Diploma Culinary Arts Student at the Universitas Negeri Jakarta. For the introduction, technical skill is something that is needed by students, especially at the diploma level. In a sense, diploma level students are prepared to fill the job qualification needed by the industrial world. Competition in the world of work is getting tougher, with many graduates of diploma level students who will choose to continue working. Based on data from the Central Statistics Agency, or BPS, in February 2022, it shows the open unemployment rate, or TPT, of 6.26%, and based on data from the Central Statistics Agency, or BPS 2019, shows the employment rate for diploma and university graduates, respectively, in the range of 6% to 7%. The fact indicates that the absorption of manpower from diploma level students is still not optimal. Based on the academic operational guidelines for the Diploma Culinary Arts Study Program 2022, the Diploma Culinary Arts Study Program is one of the non-educational study programs at the State University of Negeri Jakarta, which is a development in the culinary study program, which was previously known as the Food and Nutrition Study Program under the IKK Department, Home Economy, which has resided in Indonesia since 1960 and is under the Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Universitas of Indonesia. According to Taufik Andriadi, 2015, the result of his research proved that the variables of technical expertise and non-technical expertise have a very significant effect on the work performance obtained by each employee's performance. And the higher the technical expertise and non-technical expertise, the higher the employee's work performance. Based on the result of research by Basito et al. 2018, the average value of self-efficacy of students is 75.95%, and the average value of students who have higher order thinking skill is 96.58%. So it can be concludes the student have high self-efficacy but have poor thinking skills. Based on the result of the research above, it can be said that self-efficacy is person believed to take an action, so that self-efficacy has the right relationship with the technical abilities that each person has to have carry out very action taken. The relationship equation is that there is a strong belief in the ability possessed. It will make it easier to carry out every action taken. One form of technical skill possessed by students is being able to create quality-based students who have expert ability, work quickly, precisely, and efficiently, respect time, and are independent. So advocacy for diploma culinary students as part of effort to improve the quality of human research, or HR. Graduate of diploma culinary in the future needs to be studied in the depth how it relates to the technical ability of current students. And for the methods, this study used associative quantitative research methods with survey techniques and descriptive elaboration. Research with associative quantitative methods is research that aims to determine the influence of relationship between two or variables. This is from Sugiono 2015. The study has two variables that become the object of research, where self-efficacy is the independent variable X, while the independent variable is technical skills. Yeah. For the methods again, we have data from Universitas Jakarta, and the research was carried out from January 8, 2022 to January 20 for the 2022, and make a survey methods and with questionnaire. And the data collection technique that this study used an instrument as tool used to obtain the required data such as questionnaire. The instrument will be distributed to all target respondents using a Likert scale. The data analysis technique in this study began with validity and skill tests to determine and measure the validity of a questionnaire that had been made to conduct a study. Furthermore, after the validity and skill tests were carried out, the data analysis of Requireme test was carried out using the normality test with chromograph similar and linearity tests. Prerequisite test of data analysis was carried out to detect the distribution of data in one variable to be used in the study. This is data analysis technique, and I'm used to method for the analysis technique. First, prerequisite test, I'm used to chromograph similar test and linearity test. For the second analysis technique is hypothesis testing. I'm used correlation coefficient test, correlation significance test, regression question test, regression equation, significance test. The statistical hypothesis in this study is H1, which means there is a relationship between self-efficacy and clinical skill in Diploma Culinary students studying Universitas of Negeri Jakarta. And testing of data analysis requirement. Chromograph test. Based on table above, it can be concluded that the data on the efficacy variable is normally distributed with a statistical test of 0.092. This number is the same as the prob skill value. And then chromograph test for technical skills variable. Based on the table above, it can be concluded that data on the technical skill variable is normally distributed with a statistical test of 0.076. The number is the same as the prob skill value. Hypothesis test. The first, linear regression equation coefficient or t-test. Based on table above, the regression equation is obtained is 65.052 plus 1.031x, which means that each variable x self-efficacy has one increase. Then the Y variable or technical skill has increased by 1.031. Based on the result of the analysis obtained, the hit is 7.167 and the p-value is 0.000 and HO is rejected. And then hypothesis test for linearity test and significance of the regression equation. The significance test of the regression equation is known that f hit is 0.441 with p-value is 0.994. So that it can be interpreted then HO or the technical skill regression equation on self-efficacy is linear or in the form of a linear line. And then hypothesis test for correlation coefficient test. The result of the correlation coefficient test can be concluded that the self-efficacy variable has a relationship with technical skill. On the other hand, technical skill has a relationship with self-efficacy with a value R of 0.609. And then hypothesis test for correlation coefficient significance test to test age and year. Based on the result of the correlation coefficient significance test in the table 4, it can be concluded that value R is 0.609 and F hit is 51.369 with a p-value of 0.00. The test criteria, if the count, the table, or HO is rejected, then the correlation between the self-efficacy variable and the technical skill variable is significant. Then it can be interpreted that HO is rejected and H1 is accepted, which means that the correlation between the variable X, self-efficacy, and the variable Y, technical skill is significant, while the coefficient of determination R square or R square is 0.371, which means that 37.1% of the variation in the self-efficacy variable can be explained by the technical skill variable. Okay, and then discussion based on the result for the correlation coefficient test, it was found that the self-efficacy variable had a positive relationship with technical skill. On the other hand, technical skill has a relationship with a self-efficacy with a value R is 0.609. The self-efficacy variable has dimension of difficulty level, strength of belief, and generalization, which are interconnected with the dimension of technical skill, namely word knowledge and word field ability. Students with high self-efficacy based on the theory present by Bandura 1997 have an aspect of self-efficacy that can aspect this aspect or the level aspect. When level refers to the level of difficulty of the individual task, that is believed to be able to handle it. The second aspect that is able to influence efficacy is generality, where generality refers to a variety of situations where the efficacy assessment can be applied. The third aspect that is able to influence efficacy is strength, where strength is related to the strength of students' efficacy when dealing with task demands or problem. As stated by Andriadi 2015, the technical skill in this study is to measure the skill of Diploma Culinary students in carrying out the tasks and what they will be and are being carried out. The technical skill measure in the study refers to knowledge with indicators, which mean that students have both general knowledge and special knowledge. Experienced students have broad insight, get quite a lot of fun information, always try to know and have a vision for the student, have good technical skills. For the conclusion, the result of the correlation coefficient test analysis show that the magnitude of the correlation coefficient or R between the self-efficacy variable and the technical skill variable is or is 0.609. P better small 0.06. So it can be stated that there is a positive relationship, the result of the correlation coefficient significance that show that the correlation coefficient or RHA is 0.609 and FJ is 51.369 with a p-value of 0.000. The test criteria, if the count, the table, or HO is rejected, then the correlation between the self-efficacy variable and the technical skill variable is significant. Okay, thank you. very much. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much for your great attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.